you know, like everything, there is a energy in everything. So storytelling, what I learned about storytelling is that there's a pinnacle you can reach while telling your story. As I explained in other videos, I do a lot of my storytelling freehand, freestyle, you know. But one thing I can tell you is that I would think a lot of my stories through, and when I actually sit down and write them, the story may go in a different direction. Now, there's some people that may feel like, okay, you the writer, you don't write, and how can they go in a different direction? And that's the beauty of it. So I believe that sometimes a story tells you exactly where to go. You know, I feel like that what you may have had in your mind, or even those of you who write an outline may have had on paper, sometimes the story is forcing you to go somewhere else in the story, and you have to respect that, whatever that magic is that does that. But it's going to happen. You know, things that you have planned on writing may come out totally different, or places that you wanted to visit during your story, you might not ever go. You know, but the story is saying go here naturally from up here. You know, and that's magic to me. When stories they start to write themselves. You write a story, it can start to write itself. And the best thing you could do for that situation, when the story is kind of taking twists and turns that you didn't think it would take, is respect it and follow it, because you're going to get the best vibration for your story. If a story is telling you, if a story is trying to do something different, it is weird to really try to explain this, because really you're the one controlling the writing, but it happens. You know, a story can start taking you places you didn't even want to go. But the best thing to do is to simply respect that, because to me there's a magic in it where stories start to develop in themselves, and it becomes a very real story somewhere in the world. And I think, you know, and that's really how I think. I think once you complete a story, the story exists somewhere. You created the story. We don't look really past creating a story, but once you create these characters, those characters, that story is actually in real motion, in my opinion. And so when you write it, you may take a few left turns, a few right turns, whatever the story asks you to do. But I think it's more spirituality to follow what's natural than to try to follow a outline that may not necessarily give you the best story or the best output of what happened. You know, and this has happened with everything I've ever written, that the story eventually starts writing itself. It doesn't, you know, it starts writing itself. When you get to a certain point, it's to start developing your mind. It's to start developing differently. And I just think it's awesome when that happens, you know. So take it from me that storytelling, there's a lot of spirituality that plays into your story. There's a lot of, but you must be tuned in to the frequency. Basically you need to have an open mind for when that happens, because sometimes the story doesn't necessarily come out in the way you envisioned it, but you still can have the same similar outcome that you wanted to have. But the story is going to get you to tell it a certain way, and you have to respect that. I'm D Revolution. Like and subscribe to my page. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. I'm going to be doing a video on writer's block. Make sure you check out all my videos. Make sure you like and subscribe to my page, and suggest my page to any writers, anybody that you think that would benefit from the knowledge that I'm giving. Peace and D Revolution.